It must have been a month since you last loved me, and I haven't slept a wink. I hope you care.
Hey guys, welcome to Four Brothers Mechanics tutorial. Today we're going to be changing the oil on, what is it? This is a 2006 Honda CRV 2.4 liter with VTEC. Alright, the two brothers, Milcar and Festus, couldn't be here with us today, but Marcus and myself, Andrew, will be doing this for you. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the real mechanic here. As you can see, cars don't even really need oil. It's more just an aesthetic thing. So I don't know why we're doing this video. It's kind of like personal preference whether you put in oil or not. I know that my dad had a car. It was his first car actually. He bought it, and it was an old lady sold it to him, and she said, you know, the car had run so great. She'd had it for about 5 or 6 years. She'd never even had to change the oil. So, I mean, changing the oil isn't really, like I said, a necessity at all. You don't even have to put oil in a car. So, it's... Andrew, what are you doing?
Alright guys, first things first, we're going to warm up the car. We're just taking it around the block real quick. We're going to get all the old oil circulated throughout the engine before we do the oil change. And let's hear that VTEC.
VTEC!
Oh my god.
Alright guys, so we're going to lift the vehicle up. I'm just going to use these ramps. You want as much room as you can to work under. You can use a jack or whatever. Yeah, I got these lifts at Walmart for like 60 bucks. And they're really helpful. Yeah, so let's get to it. You're going to want to put the car in park and make sure your parking brake is on. So it does not slide backwards on you and kill you. Alright, so let's come over here and open up the filler cap. So air can vent in. So first off, we're going to need the oil. Whoa. Alright. This particular vehicle uses 5W20. We're using Mobil 1 synthetic. Synthetic oil will last longer and it'll help the engine run better. And it doesn't burn as easily. That's another thing. So yeah. Next, we're going to need the filter. Whoa. Alright. And we're going to need something to get the old oil filter off, i.e. a filter tool. And there we are. This is a, I like this one. There's a lot of different filter tools out there. This one will fit many different oil filters. See, it extends, but as you go to loosen the old filter with the ratchet, it tightens up and grabs onto the filter. And it has a fitting for a 1/4 inch ratchet. Works really well. And we're going to need something to catch the old oil. So what works best is a oil pan. Here we are. Kind of dirty, but it still holds oil. So yeah. One more thing, we're going to need something to get the oil drain bolt off. Alright, so what I have here is just a standard ratchet. I've got an adapter on it just to get some more leverage. And this drain bolt is a 17 millimeter. So, yep. One more thing, I like to use a torque wrench when I'm putting the drain bolt on because I don't want to over tighten or under tighten it. So let me just get it real quick. Wow, here we are. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, so first thing you need to do is identify the oil pan, where it's at, and where the drain bolt's at. It's usually, I mean, it's always going to be on the bottom of the engine. It's usually pretty obvious where it's at. It's got a single bolt to drain the oil. And you're going to want to look for where the filter's at. On this vehicle, the filter is up here above the passenger side axle. Let me try and get a better shot at it for you. It's right here. So you're gonna make a little bit of a mess when you pull it, but just clean it off with some brake cleaner or something. Alright, so a little trick to not getting hot oil all over your hands or something. You could wear gloves when you do this. I don't usually wear gloves, but that's just me. You're gonna loosen it with your fingers while pushing towards the oil pan. And once you're pretty sure that it's all the way backed off, just make one swift movement, pulling the oil pan out, or pulling the drain bolt out. So right now you can see it's really loose. I'm just gonna pull it, and I didn't get that much oil on my hands. Still got a little bit, but and yeah, just let it drain. Alright guys, as you can see, the oil is finishing up draining. You don't have to wait till the flow completely stops. That's good enough right there. So I'm gonna put the drain bolt back in right now. I'm not gonna torque it down yet. Just gonna tighten it up so that I'm not making a mess when I go for the filter. There we go. Move your oil pan over to under the filter. The oil's about going to be draining from. I'm going to take my tool and let me show you on the new filter. Alright, so the way this tool works, you put it over the filter, the old filter. You don't want to use this on the new filter. Get your socket, wrench. See, it just hooks in the back, and you're just going to turn it to the left, and it's going to tighten up and loosen the old filter. Makes it a lot easier than using your hands or something. So let's do that. I like to just crack it loose and then do the rest by hand. So let's get it pretty loose here. There we go, that should be good. And here she comes. Just let it drain out a little bit. Should be good. Careful not to splash oil on your face or something. This filter's a little bit hot too. And careful when you're pulling the filter off, because there's going to be oil inside of it. So you don't want to spill oil all over yourself there too. So I usually do the same thing I did with the drain bolt. Just put some force on it until you feel that it's unthreaded. And then, but with this I tilt it upwards so that oil doesn't spill out all over me. There it is. Pull it down, and there's the old filter. Just put it gasket side down, let all that old oil drain out of it. Alright, so you're going to want to lube up this gasket surface with some of the new oil, and I like to pour a little bit inside too, so that when you first start the vehicle, it's got some oil in the filter already, so it's already primed, basically. Just pour some in the cap, use your fingers. No such thing as too much. A little bit more inside there. Should be good. It's kind of hard to see the threads on this vehicle, so I'm gonna just feel around for it. That feels like them. Careful not to cross thread. You want to make sure it goes on nice and even. There we go. And you're gonna want to hand tighten this. Don't use any filter tool for this, because you might damage the threads or the filter, and that's never good. So just go pretty tight by hand, just until it stops turning. I need to spray some brake cleaner on that. And now let's clean up all this oil. Let me show you. See, it's all over that axle and the back of the engine. So we're just gonna get some brake cleaner and spray that down. Spray off the new oil filter, because there's oil in that. And then we're gonna torque this down. Alright guys, so I just got some a can of brake cleaner here and some rags. Just gonna clean up all this old oil I got everywhere. Don't worry about damaging anything. Brake cleaner is a really good cleaner. It's not just for cleaning brakes. And it dries really quickly, so just try not to get in your eyes or anything. It really burns. Don't ask me how I know. Just making sure that oil filter's tight and clean. There we go. This boot clean. This axle. Frame. And looks like we're pretty good. So the torque spec for this baby is 33 foot-pounds. So let's set it up. We're almost on our way to more VTEC. VTEC! It's 33. Let's put our socket on there. Get this out of the way. There we go, there's one, and let's make sure. There's two. And we are torqued down. Alright guys, the capacity for this this Honda CRV is 4.5 quarts of oil. I got a funnel here, just so I'm not making a mess. Let's put it in. It's kind of hard to tell with this jug how much 4.5 is. The whole thing, it's got these markers here, so we'll just go off of that, and then we'll check the dipstick once we pull it off these ramps. Looked like we were about a half quart low, so I'm just gonna pour the rest of this in here. Make sure you put your oil cap back on. Tighten it down. Good. And we're gonna check the level on the dipstick once we pull it off these ramps, because you want it on a level surface so that you're not getting an off reading on the dipstick. So let's do that. Alright, looks like we're good. This specific model has a maintenance light. I think it's set to like 10,000 miles. So every 10,000 miles it'll trip off. It's just to remind you, change your oil or whatever. So let's reset it. Alright guys, so to reset the maintenance light on this car, you're gonna hold this trip button down and start the vehicle while holding it down. So turn the key on and then start the vehicle. And it's gonna reset on its own. You let go, see, no more maintenance light. Yay. We're well on our way to more VTEC. So, you just did an oil change on your 2006 Honda CRV with VTEC. And you may be asking yourself, what do I do with my old oil? Well, just take your old oil, or take your oil pan, walk on down to your local parts store, and dump it away for free. Do they take oil filters too? There we are. Mobile One Synthetic.
Brake cleaner, not just for cleaning brakes.
I'll take a bow.